Okay, hi everyone. Really excited today to be joined by the one and only Simon Whale from Kerfuffle. Obviously, I know I'm sure everyone's seen Kerfuffle in some shape or form. Definitely seen that hat before, I'm sure. So welcome, Simon. So today on Get to Know an Esther's Partner, this is really an opportunity for you to share with the Esther's community a bit about you, and well, hopefully not too much about you, but your business. So just quickly then, Simon, as an introduction, what is it that Kerfuffle do?
Okay, if it was about me, we'd need a 40-minute meeting.
I got that long.
I'll skip that, absolutely. Well, first of all, thanks very much. Obviously, very sad that obviously we're not going to be meeting up. It's just next month, isn't it, or this month, whatever it is. But can't wait for it to kick off, because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be enjoying those Esters when we finally get there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so loosely speaking, you're quite right. A lot of people saw it was actually launched with the Oompa Loompas at last year's Esters. We are an amalgamation of a number of websites. People like TripAdvisor with reviews. We kind of do Groupon with collective bargaining for that. We have a Which Magazine element, which is expert reviews. All with a kind of Amazon-esque thing with a one-stop shop mentality. Now, I've made a lot of very big claims there with very big companies. All of them staggeringly close enough, just disparate enough that we can't get sued. But all of these creating a really good resource for agents whenever they're choosing any supplier in the industry. So at the moment, it's a bit of a jump into the dark when you're choosing somebody. We're trying to give you as much assistance as possible.
Right. Okay. And from an agent side, then, why should they come to Kerfuffle, to your website?
I think one of the key ones is, we're a review site in the way that obviously you do reviews as well, but we are purely in the very niche thing about looking at just suppliers and just reviews. We're going to own that space. And I know that niche because, of course, frankly, I created half the problems that are in the industry. And now I'm here trying to help you out. So I'm the poacher turned gamekeeper. The key element is that there's no anonymous reviews. We really want to be as trusted in the way that I know Esther's do. So everybody is a registered and verified member on the website. And so when you see the reviews, very like TripAdvisor, you would be able to see peers of the industry like Simon Bradbury, recommending Akaboom, or all of these other characters that are on the site at the moment. So that's a really key thing for us, is those companies and individuals that you recommend can be followed, and you can glean a lot from them.
Yeah. And how do you select who's on there?
Well, we have an all-of-market policy because, again, my shameless narcissism means that I want to be liked by everybody. So we want to have all of them on there, and we want to also highlight as well, to be honest, those ones that should be avoided. There's I won't name them again. I'm very good at getting sued, but people will know some of those rogue businesses that have been around. Unfortunately, they're few and far between. Sure. But I was always really, really annoyed that social media, big fan of social media, as anyone unfortunate to follow me, but social media didn't do its job in terms of, normally you'd expect somebody to be ranting and whatever else about a company, and for whatever reason that didn't happen. So I want to be a warning signal for those rogue, for those rogue ones there.
Is that where you're trying to be like rogue traders, just on that side?
Yes, genuinely on that, and again, bring it on if you think if you are going to do illegals. But the other thing is really much more excitingly, I want to do a really good job about highlighting best practice and those businesses that I genuinely see as essentials. And I'll be, I know many of them are my fellow sponsors of the Esters on there. The problem is the explosion of prop tech companies who are the main to blame. There's now 800 prop tech. There's probably a few less actually now, but there's 800 prop tech companies around. Means that as agents will recognise that they're bombarded by calls weekly and everything else, and it leads a lot of them, they tell me, to put their head in the sand and tell don't put any more calls through from suppliers. and they accept themselves. The problem with that is actually that they ignore some actually really quite exciting opportunities. So that's for me to highlight to them, look, these are the ones that I think you should be paying attention to.
So from an agent side then, if they come on to Kerfuffle, what does it cost them to be part of your community?
So it's 14 grand a month. No. That was my Ratner moment. No, it's absolutely free. So many of you will know me from my old Repeat days. It was a great product, premium pricing though. And the one thing I knew that we needed to have about this business was if we were to seem by the suppliers as being interesting and wanting to do the best deals for, we had to have as many people on here as possible. So very, very simply, in the last year since we, as I said, launched your fantastic event, we've got over 2,000 agents signed up, which makes us like supplier catnip. You know, they want to get us, they want to get those, and they will give deals accordingly there. So very transparently, I get paid by the suppliers on any completed business. So yeah, agents, you know, most agents tell me, look, it's a no-brainer. Why would we not do it? The only thing I ask for, well, there's many things I ask for, but we do insist that you try and leave a number of reviews a year.
Yeah.
So, put that little bit in, because of course, other agents benefiting from your reviews helps the whole site to go, tick over.
Yeah, absolutely. So almost like you become a community in there, looking out for each other. If you've had a great experience with a supplier, share it, because that can help your peers in the future.
I'll be honest, Ben. I think what do they call them? The social media and
influencers.
They call them tribes, don't they, and everything else.
Yeah.
But I think the key thing for me actually is not so much the problem with most review sites is they tend to be bullshit or brilliance, and apologies for your more sensitive viewers there. But you do tend to give a review when you're either really annoyed or really happy. Actually, the bell curve should show that there should be more 2, 3, and 4 out of 5s if that's your score in the system. And what we're trying to encourage and will be the challenge is try and give reviews where actually, it's okay to say that the company is okay. Even having that kind of thing, it helps balance out those extremes and make it more. And so that's what we're doing. So I think I've got some quite, as you would expect, some quite fiendish ways of encouraging people to leave as many reviews as possible.
Yeah, and you definitely talking my language there when you're talking about collecting reviews from everyone. From my experience in the review space over a number of years, I always used to refer to the 15% of people you know about, which are the 10% of people who are really happy with you, the 5% who are really unhappy with you, but it's the 85 in the middle that's the voice you want to collect, because that actually gives you a balanced view.
It's insanity, isn't it? I mean, I've always really hated and I know this because my dad was an awful complainer. So, everywhere we would go, whether it was a restaurant or a hotel, he'd moan about it and he'd get an upgrade. And it led to me, this is why I have no confrontation in my life. I don't like the way that actually, giving strong negative reviews, especially when they're not warranted, gets the most attention. I believe it actually hard codes worst practice. They get all the attention, and actually those ones that are just those perfect clients people refer to, they're just happy, quiet, we never hear about them. Well, actually, let's try and hear from them. Let's try and hear what they actually do think about you, and don't just because they're in the is it Michael Winner famously, when Michael Winner used to go to restaurants, if he felt he didn't get attention, he used to whirl the napkin round. That's arsehole behaviour, and I'm not a big fan of it. So look, whilst I appreciate the negative reviews are actually really useful, and you'll know better than anything, the way that companies respond to those reviews tells you everything. And most people just do not believe 5-star reviews. The old around here, I live up in Manchester, and apologies for me referring to Just Eat Delivery and was it an Uber Eats, but that I essentially have those racing to my house every night. And when you see a new restaurant that's opened and overnight it has 1,500 reviews, all 5-star, it's like that doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
Absolutely. So if you were just going to give a final message to the Estes community, what would you like to say to them?
Yeah, well, first of all, look forward to seeing you at the bar and the champagne. I always have the first champagne glass at the Esters. That's the thing I do. Look out for whatever we're going to be doing, which is going to be mental as usual in the pink. But I think genuinely it's wrong to call this an opportunity, but I can't think of another word. Whilst there's terrible stuff going on outside, you have got an opportunity now that you probably won't get again in your business lives to reimagine your businesses. So be very, very, there's no sacred cows here. Look at everything, the main functions of an estate agency, and bar the market appraisal process itself, which has to remain sacrosanct, and you look after every other part of the business, from prospecting, through to the presentation, the listing, not the listing elements, sales progression, all of these elements can be outsourced to many of the partners and suppliers within the industry. Now, I'm not saying you should do it, but look at that and rate yourself. If you aren't scoring top 10 out of 10 and you want to keep it in the business, we'll come up with an improvement plan. If, on the other hand, you think, let's have a look at it, come to Kerfuffle. We can advise you on which suppliers you should be looking at. And then that way, you can stop spinning all these different hats, and you can specialise on the key things that are going to make the most business, and I guarantee will change your business for the better.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Okay, Simon, really appreciate your time. Always a pleasure. Loving the fact that you're boasting about how many toilet rolls you've got in your house there.
Not so much of it here. That's just sort of guys we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But we'll post this on our YouTube channel. Links below will be to Kerfuffle. And also the Esters, and Simon's details will be in there if anyone wants to get in contact. And thanks for tuning in.
To find out more, visit our website at theesters.com/findoutmore, or check our Twitter feed and Facebook page for the latest Esters news. The Esters, because service matters.